Well, hello there, fellow pilgrims, members of the army of the Most High God, friends old, friends new. I am one pilgrim from One Pilgrim's Musings. Come on in, come on in. We are taking a journey through the Psalms from the Old Testament, the book of Psalms. We're utilizing the New King James Version of the Holy Scriptures as we walk through the Psalms. We are today on Psalm number 27. We are utilizing as well a work in the public domain from Pastor Jack Hyles, who has gone on to his reward with the Lord. He's left behind a work, among many other things, called The Story Behind the Psalms. And what he has done in his research is done a little bit of research and a concise history of each of the Psalms. And sometimes he tells a little bit of a story from his own 50-plus years of preaching as well. And sometimes he just tells us about the background of the psalm. He also tells us how that psalm was used by God's people, the ancient Israelites, in the temple, and sometimes still used today by Jews in the synagogues throughout the world. And also, you could take a little hint from this on how you could use that psalm to help you in your prayer life. For there isn't a subject that isn't covered, at least in general, here in the Psalms. And they're great for praying and coming before the Lord. So without further ado, let's take a look at Psalm number 27. The story behind the psalm, according to the research of Pastor Hyles, the author is King David. And David had heard of Absalom's death and of his victory after Absalom had stolen the throne. Now, naturally, David was pleased because he was still the king. However, he was heartbroken because his son had been killed in the battle. Hence, he had a dual feeling when he wrote this psalm. It is called a composite psalm. Verses 1 through 6 were sung to a jubilant double beat. Verses 7 through 14 were sung to a mournful and slow beat. This was called a double expression. It was written thusly because David was both jubilant and mournful. So read verses 1 through 6 and enjoy David's jubilation as you do. And then read verses 7 through 14 and mourn with him because of his sorrow. In a real sense, this is the way all of us should be all the time. We should rejoice that our names are written in heaven, and yet mourn because there isn't one of us who doesn't know someone whose name is not yet there. We should rejoice because there is a heaven, and mourn because every day some are lost forever to the fires of hell. We should rejoice because of God's goodness to us, and yet mourn because of sin encroaching on every side. Indeed. Well, how was this psalm used by God's people? Well, this psalm was sung after great victories. Bear in mind, every great battle that was won, these are all battles in the natural we're talking about here. All great battles that were won also carried with it the loss of life. Those of us who have served through wars have learned that even in a war that is won, there is sorrow. There are those who don't come home. There are those whose lives are changed forever. Dr. Jack thinks of those friends of his who gave their lives in World War II. And I can think first of several friends of mine, people I trained and trained with, who lost their lives in the Gulf War. And since, he gave the last full measure, whether on the battlefield or because of injuries they sustained there that changed their lives forever and caused their untimely demise, or caused them even today to not be able to enjoy life the full way that they should, and that they certainly have earned. Anyway, Dr. Jack talks about friends of his who gave their lives in World War II. The first baseman from his softball team, the pitcher from his baseball team, the fellow at a paper route down the street from him, his tennis doubles partner, and buddies of his whom he trained with in the infantry and as a paratrooper. And as I said, I know those whom I trained with and trained who didn't come home, and some who came home changed forever. And we're still friends. So has there been a victory in your life that has also brought with it lamentation and sorrow? You'll find a kindred spirit in King David, who wrote the 27th Psalm. And without further ado, let's take a look at that 27th Psalm, which maybe I need to pray again tonight myself. It is an exuberant declaration of faith. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. Though an army may camp against me, my heart shall not fear. The war may rise up against me. In this I will be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret place of his tabernacle he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock, and now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me. Therefore I will offer sacrifices of joy in his tabernacle. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me and answer me. When you said, seek my face, my heart said to you, your face, Lord, I will seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You've been my help. Do not leave me nor forsake me, O God of my salvation. When my father and mother forsake me, then the Lord will take care of me. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a smooth path because of my enemies. Do not deliver me to the will of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and such as breathe out violence. I would have lost heart unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and He will strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. And there you have Psalm number 27. That's it for this pilgrim for today. God willing, I will see you tomorrow, and we'll tackle Psalm number 28 and some of the stories behind it. For now, may the good Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you and give you that perfect shalom. This is One Pilgrim. For now, I'm out.